Okay, hello everybody. Let's begin. So we're going to start off sitting down. Hope you can all hear nicely. So sitting down with our feet together in Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Sitting up nice and tall. Okay. So let's get ourselves with it. Apes, cats playing with the calls. All right, so we're working into our French splits or middle splits after our French poodle. Okay. So as you sit up nice and tall, close your eyes and just focus on your breath. Thank yourself for being here and just set your intentions for today's class. Nice deep breathing in and out. As you inhale, allow your belly to expand like a big balloon. And as you exhale, allow your navel to work towards your spine. So you're working to work to those middle splits or the straddle splits. It's worthwhile pursuing even if you can't get into the pose because it does work all of the different muscles in the body. It's a great stretching exercise, especially for the core, for your glutes, for your psoas muscles. So just do the best you can. Don't be surprised if you can't get very far. It's a great experience. Drop your chin down towards your chest. A little saying for today. Saying you're not flexible enough for yoga or even for the splits is like saying you're too dirty to take a bath. Slowly begin to open up your eyes. Draw your eyes along the floor until your chin is parallel. Bring your palms together. Welcome to yoga, everybody. So sitting how you are, let's take our arms up to the side. Big inhale, lift up nice and tall. And exhale all the way down. Let's do that again. Inhale, lifting up tall. And exhaling all the way down. So if you can, grab yourself a block, or if you've got a book, that's also fine. You're going to take that block and you're going to place it underneath your feet. And get your feet comfortable. Have them together and sit up nice and tall in Baddha Konasana. As you sit here, we're going to take our feet, knees up to the side. Inhale, lifting up tall. Exhaling down. Inhale, lifting up tall. And exhaling down. Once again, inhale, lift up tall. And exhale down. Nice, just hold it there. Keep pushing down. Just sit up nice and straight. Deep breaths. And then slowly you take your feet out to the either side of that block. And just hold it there for a moment. It's a big seat. Try and push down or forward your sitting bones. So you're sitting on your anal mouth. Hold it there. Push those knees down. Let's take a big breath in as you lift the knees and down as you go down. All right, we'll move that block out the way and we're going to work into I call this fire log pose. So you're going to bring your right foot in front of you. I want it to be parallel with the front of the mat. Left foot to go on top there. And you want to try and stack those fire logs. You're trying to make it perfect, kind of a triangle pose. So this knee might be all the way up there. That's absolutely fine. Just work to the best you can. Make sure you've got a nice triangle inside here. And you're nice and parallel with the front. So the knees are really pushed out in front of you. Sit up nice and straight. You'll feel it nicely into those glutes. And place your right hand down. Let's stretch all the way over. Big extension. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And slowly let's move over to the other side. Stretch over. Lovely. Up you come. You work yourself forward. So place your hands in front of you and see if you can go down as forward as possible. This might hurt a bit and work a lot. Just do what you can do. Stretching and extending. Oh, good. And slowly up you come. So let's work to the other way. You're going to take down your left foot now in front. Make sure it's parallel to the front. Right foot on top. And try and get them nice and equal and square in front of one another. Sit up nice and straight with it. And slowly, right hand's going to come down. Let's do a good stretch over to the side again. And let's move over to the left. And slowly coming back up, working it forward, so hands in front and walking down as far as you can go. Should be really working into those glutes. Yeehaw! Beautiful. Okay, slowly coming up. I want you to take that left foot and bring it in to that right hip. We're working to Ardha Matsyendrasana, taking your right foot and placing it over the left knee. So try and get that right foot right down, the left foot in, and make sure you're sitting down both sitting bones. You know, sit up nice and tall, get a nice stretch sitting up. Holding on with your left hand onto the right knee. Inhale up, exhale, twist. Place the hand behind you and twist as much as you can. Twist. Now let's take up that left arm, stretch up to the ceiling, put a good stretch. Now bring down that left elbow to that right knee and start to twist. Make a stop sign with that. Twist as much as you can. Make sure those both sitting bones are pushing down into the floor. You're challenging your skull bone with the coccyx bone. You're extending, lifting up tall. Hold it there and breathe. Make sure that that right foot is really pushing down into the floor as well. Hold it. Feel that nice twist. And slowly coming all the way back to the front. To get out of it, we do the cartwheel our legs around to change legs. So placing down the right foot by the left heel. Heel by the hip. Your left foot is nice and flat on the floor. And then sitting up tall, making sure both sitting bones are nice and down on the floor. Now holding on with the right hand, left hand to go all the way around. Inhale up, exhale, twist. Once you're in your twist, let's lift that right arm up. Big stretch. And bring the right elbow. Hook it in. Sit up tall. Twist a little bit more. Keep the twist going. And hold. Deep breathing through the nostrils. In and out. Nice deep breaths. Lovely. Slowly coming back to the front. Okay. I want you to straighten your legs out in front of you. So we're going to sit in Dandasana. Danda is a staff So if you think about a staff that looks after the sheep, that long stick, we're going to be that long straight line. So sitting out Dandasana, feet, toes are flexed, feet are straight. Please don't look at how dirty my feet are. You're walking around with no shoes. Pushing down the knees, so making sure your knees are down. When you push your knees down, don't let the heels come off the floor. So stretch it out so the knees are down, the heels are down, and you're lengthening up. So lifting up, utilizing your core. Don't open through the chest, so make sure you're sitting up straight. Nice stretch. Your fingertips can just be touching on the floor. And you lift up and you hold. So this is a pose all in itself. As you lengthen and you breathe into it. Nice deep breathing. Hold it. You should be working out just as you're sitting here. Big stretch. Hold. If you're feeling any pain in your back or anything, then you're not doing it correctly. You're either not holding the core correctly, you're not utilizing your thighs. So I want you to make sure that you're using all parts of the body to do this. Everything should be working. It's a great way to sit and watch TV, to get a workout while you're watching TV. So from here, we're going to work into Kurmasana. We're going to start with a half Kurmasana. So I want you to take your feet, bend them up. You're going to bring them to the edges of your mat, so that your mat's long ways. Your feet are going to go to the outside of your mat. Knees are quite in. I want you to, from here, you push your hips, rotate the hips downwards, so you're sitting forward onto your anal mouth. So you're not rounded like this, you're pushing right down as much as you can. From there, I want you to bring your hands in front of you. You may need to get a little bit of space. Now make sure that your armpits are right by the knees. So you want to lengthen yourself out here. Push the knees right out to the side, so you haven't got your legs out, you want to push yourself forward, lengthen. From there, you're going to take your hands and you're trying to slide them out to the side. So just slide them out to the side and extend. So the first part of the pose, we're just going to work our arms out. So stretch the arms out as much as you can and see if you can start to walk your legs out as much as you can. So let's just do the straight arms, straight legs movement. Just extend. Now slowly coming up. We're going to work into it a little bit more. So this time, I want you to turn with your hands. I'm going to work from the side. So here you are. I want you to take your hands underneath. You turn around. See if you can turn around and take them behind you. All right. So if you want to use a strap, you can place a strap behind you. But you can take them behind you and take the other one behind you. If you can hold hands, you can hold hands, or just use a strap, or just have them lying behind you wherever you can. Okay? Once you get hold of them, remember you're pushing forward with your tailbone. We're working to the psoas muscle. So right in between by the hips. And then slowly from there, you're going to start to stretch yourself out. Lengthening into it, extending. Stretch out and lengthen. If you're feeling very strong in the pose, you can work your feet even in towards your head and try and work on top of the skull. Oops. So either way, I don't mind, just try and extend, try and stretch as much as you can. And then slowly release the hands, place them underneath you, sit yourself up. Let's straighten the legs out in front of you, back into Dandasana. So lift up tall fingertips on either side. We're going to hold it here for a moment. Big stretch. That's our restoring pose. Straighten out as much as you can. Hold it. And just breathe. Okay. From there, I want you to bend your knees and we'll work ourselves onto our backs. So bring your hips forward and lie yourselves down, all the way down to the floor. Once you're down on the floor, I want you to bring your knees just above your hips. Your feet are flexed and your calves and your shin are parallel to the floor. From here, I want you to lift your head and push the knees together. So we're pushing the knees tight together. Push, 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 push. Keep pushing them. Hold them there. Now you're going to push your knees out towards into your hands. So it's a huge push. Push with the knees, push into the hands. Keep doing it. Now release the knees and allow the knees to close. Push the knees together with the hands. Now push the knees into the hands. I can even see the shakes in my legs. Now push the knees back together. Push the knees, push the knees. Now knees into the hands. Push, 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 push. Now release, knees back. Push them together. Now knees into the hands. Push, 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 push. And last, back knees together. Lovely. Release your head down. Keeping your knees exactly how they are, you'll push your hands into the center and open wide. So flexing the feet out, open as wide as you can. Allow gravity just to open up. Your childbirthing pose. So just allow flexing the feet open wide. Allow the hips to really get their full extent of their opening. And your arms are quite heavy as they push them open a little bit more. I want you to feel what your back feels like. So you should be able to feel the whole of your back from the top to the bottom, how it feels on the mat. I want you to focus on how your tailbone is down, how your shoulders are down. So I want you to focus on keeping that all down. We're going to work into a happy baby, but keeping that space down. So all you do is you lift your knees up, keeping your tailbone down. If you can't grab those feet, you're grabbing behind the knees and you're pulling down with the knees without lifting the tailbone. Just pull the knees down. So nothing really moves in the back. You've got everything still flat. You're just relaxing into that space. But you're opening up a different way with the knees. Lovely. Bring the knees back together. Hug at the shins. You squash your back down a little bit more. And then bring the knees back just above the hips. And you do that all over again. So lift up. Push the knees in. Push, push, push. And then slowly push the knees into the hands. Let's push the knees back together. Now push the knees out into the hands. And again, knees back together. Push, 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 push. And knees into the hands. And back together. Lovely. Hold it. And release the head. Hands into the center. Push the knees open. Flex the feet. Big opening. Just release here. Make sure the feet are flexed. Make sure the knees are nicely aligned with the hips. As you push open and you release and let your hands be heavy on there. Feel how nice and flat your back feels. And let's slowly work into our happy baby, keeping down the back, so you're lifting the feet. Buttock stays down. If you can hold your feet, or if you want to hold behind the knees, either way, the bum must stay down. Release. Just hang out here. And then slowly bring those knees together, knees to your chest, hug them, give a good, nice hug. Cross at the ankles, hold into the feet, and we're going to slowly come up all the way. Let's go into a down dog. Walk it out, stretch it out side to side. Big stretch. Pushing into the heels, turn your head side to side, up and down. Lovely. Let's bring our knees down to the floor. Have one block close by. You know, have that block and you place it just underneath where your solar plexus, so underneath your boobies. You place it just into the bottom of your rib cage. I want you to take your knees out. Make sure the knees are directly in line with the hips. Your feet are flexed. If your knees are sore, you bring your feet together. Please notice. So if you have sore problems with your knees, toes are together. If not, your feet can be directly in line with the knees. You bring that block. It can be whatever height you need it to be. So if you need to work on a high height, that's fine. If you can work on a lower height, remember the block's got a whole lot of different heights. If you want to put 2 blocks on top of one another, and you're going to lie yourself down, stretch yourself out, get yourself nice and comfy here, right into that middle splits, release, and just relax yourself down. So obviously it will feel quite nice. We'll get into a place where it feels really nice. If it feels really nice, like where I am, I'm going to push myself a little bit further and work down a little bit more. So I can really push a little bit more pain. You know, you don't want to really feel the pain, you just want to feel something working. And just extend into it and release. We're just going to lay here for a moment. Try and enjoy it. Remember how you hold all your emotions in your hips. Think that you're letting them go. That's an opening. It's a good way to stretch. Remember, flexibility also comes with strength. So you strengthening those poses, your inner groin muscles, and with the strengthening, they become more flexible. The only reason we can't go into the poses is because we have this fear that we might break, which we won't, but we do have a fear of it. So just relax here. The more you relax, the wider you will go. So if you could really relax, you could really go a lot further. If you can wrap your head around it, you would probably go more. That's why the more often you do this, the further you will go. They say the average time for somebody, generally, if they practice splits often, they will get it in about a year. So that's the timing. I was once asked how long it would take me to get into splits. So I said, well, how flexible you are. And they said, well, I can only do Tuesdays. That was what I was told. It was very funny. It wasn't the answer I was looking for. But yes, that was what I got back. It was quite funny. I thought that was, not the right answer I was looking for. Anyway, just hold it there for 1 more minute. All right, and then slowly coming up, you can remove your block out the way. You move yourself forward. Bring those knees together. Once the knees are together, we're going to windscreen wipe with the feet. So just working side to side, have a little bit of a windscreen. It's actually very nice, believe it or not. It's not so bad. It relieves it a lot. And then slowly you're going to place Your feet down, hands directly underneath the shoulders, and let's work into a down dog. Stretch it out. Walk it out and extend. Release the head. Have a good stretch. Okay, let's look at our hands. You know, walk your feet towards your hands. Bunion bones to touch, ankles apart. Push your hips right forward. Drop your head. Bring your hands to your heart. Roll the shoulders back. Make sure you get a nice straight back, straight legs. Up you come all the way. Once you're standing, let's lift those arms up to the ceiling. Big stretch. And hands coming down. Let's stand in Tadasana. Lift up your toes. Placing down one at a time. Baby, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And then up onto those toes. And slowly coming down. So we're going to work into our head balance. Obviously, there's the warnings of your head balance. If you're menstruating, I don't want you going up. High blood pressure, neck problems, any of those, you can go into your dolphin or you can work into your downwards facing dog. Otherwise, we work into Sirsasana with our legs wide apart. So if you want to work against a wall or if you want to work in the center of the room, that's fine. So Sirsasana, I'll just set up and show you what we're working into. I'll work this way. So I'm placing down my blanket, getting my little triangle, thumbs, hands together, head down. And I will work with my legs wide apart, as wide as I possibly can. From there, I'm going to slowly work up and I'm going to hold my legs out wide. Flex the feet down to the floor and I'm going to hold it here. So we'll try and hold for at least, if you can, 5 minutes. That's what I'd ideally like it to work into. So you're just going to hold in this position as long as you possibly can. Once you've finished holding, you come down. All right. I'll just be watching how you're doing. All right. That's it. So even if you go up with your straight legs, that's fine, and then open up when you're up there, that's also fine. Very nice. Beautiful. Got a lot of people there doing it. Very nice. Very, very nice. And you can slowly start to come back down. Take your hips back and then slowly come down to the floor. All right. Well done, guys. Okay. So let's carry on. We're going to come into our down dog. So stretching into your down dog. Extend. Just stretch it out. Walk it out. And then slowly look at your hands. You're going to walk your feet towards your hands. Bunion bones touch, ankles apart. Hands to prayer. Roll the shoulders back and up you come all the way. We're working to some strange little sun salutations. They're sun salutations, they're goddess mandala sun salutations. So just see how it goes and see if you can keep up with it and have some fun with it. So let's inhale, lift up nice and tall. Exhale, swan dive, hands to the front, hands to the side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right leg stepping back. Step back with the left into a plank. Chaturanga down, Urdhva Mukha up, into a down dog, stretch it out. Step forward with your right foot. Come up, Vipadrasana 1. And we'll turn to goddess pose. So turn to the front, goddess. Big stretch. Take the arms up and we're going to the back of your mat. So turn to the back of your mat and bring your hands back down. Step back into a plank. Chaturanga down, Urdhva Mukha up, and back into a down dog, stretch out. Look at the hands, right foot's going to step forward. Up you come, turn over back into a goddess pose. Lovely, arms stretching up, turn to the front of the mat. Hands down, step back plank, Chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha up, into a down dog, step forward right, step forward left, hands to pray, up you go. So that was one half. Okay, you'll get the idea of it. It's quite a bit of fun. So let's go for the left side. So coming down, hands front, hands side, inhale, left leg back, right leg back, down you go, up you come, down dog, stretch out. Left foot forward. And up you come. Working to goddess. Arms up to the back of your mat. Hands down. Step into plank. Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Down dog. Step forward left foot. Up you come. Goddess pose. Arms up to the front of your mat, hands down, step back plank, Chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, down dog, left foot forward, right foot forward, hands to prayer, up we go. That was one round, let's keep going. Arms coming down, hands front, hands side, inhale, right back, left back, down, up we come, down dog, right forward, up you come, into goddess. We'll change it up now. We'll go over to the right side, stretch, over to the left side, stretch, up you come. Let's face the back of the mat, hands down, step back plank, chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, down dog, right foot forward, up you come, goddess, over to the right, yes, over to the left, and back to the front of the mat, hands down, step back plank, down, up, down dog, right forward, left forward, hands to pray, up we go. Let's do the left side, so coming down, hands front, side, inhale, left back, right back, down, up, down dog, left forward, up you come, goddess, over to the left, over to the right, up you come to the back of the mat, hands down, step back, chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, down dog, step forward, left, up you come, goddess, over to the left, over to the right, and straight into the, going to the back of the, front of the mat, hands down, step back plank, chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, down dog, left foot, right foot, hands to pray, up we go. Let's keep going. Coming down, hands front, hands side, inhale, right back, left back, down, up, down dog, right forward, up you come, into goddess. Listen carefully. We're down, down, and then we'll stretch over, and we're going to stretch over. Come back, and turn to the back of the mat. Hands down, step back, down you go, up you come, down dog, right foot forward, up you come, over to the back, go down, go right over, stretch, back to the front of the mat, hands down, step back plank, down, up, down dog, right forward, left forward, hands to pray, up we go. Let's do the left side, coming down, hands front, side, inhale, left back, right back, down, up, down dog, left forward, up you come, turning to the back, going down, up, down, up. Let's stretch back, turn to the back of the mat, hands down, step back plank, chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, down dog, step forward left, up you come, into goddess, down, up, work over to the side, up, over to the side, up, turn to the front of the mat, hands down, step back plank, chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, down dog, step forward left, step forward right, hands to pray, up you go. Can we do one more round? Just one more, let's do it. Let's go. Coming down, we do a jump back, hands front, hands side, inhale, jump back, down, up, down dog, right foot forward, up you come, over to the front, goddess, up and down, up and down. Now arms out and up, arms out and up. Turn to the back of the mat, hands down, step back plank, chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, down dog, step forward right, up, back to goddess, up and down, and up and down. Arms back, and up, arms back, and up. Turn to the front, hands down, step back plank, chaturanga, urdhva mukha, down dog, jump forward, hands to pray. Up we come, last little side, coming down, hands front, side, inhale, jump back, chaturanga, urdhva mukha, down dog, left foot forward, up we go, and goddess, up, down, up, down, up. Now fold over back and up, fold over and up. Turn to the back of the mat, hands down, step back, chaturanga, urdhva mukha, down dog, step forward left, up you come, into goddess. Let's go down, up, down, up, and arms back and up, back and up. Turn to the top of the mat, hands down, step back plank, chaturanga, urdhva mukha, down dog, jump forward, hands to break, up you go, inhale, exhale, hands to heart. Well done. You warm? Okay, I hope you're warm. Let's stand with our feet in the center of the mat. You make not hip distance. So hip distance is 2 fists. Shoulder distance is 4 fists. So I want to make yourself 4 fists apart, like so. If you feel you need wider space, use wider space. If you feel you need to bring your heels in, you're welcome to. We're working to a squat. So coming down, take a seat. Oh, sorry, before we carry on, if you can, please everybody bring blocks. Place them just in front of you. I apologize, sorry. I really apologize. Better late than never. Okay. So coming down, if you want to challenge yourself more, you can bring your feet closer, make them more parallel. Otherwise, heels in, feet out. Do what you need to do. Just try and get into a comfortable squat. Okay, once you're there, let's push the knees out and sit up nice and tall. Straighten out as much as you can. You'll take down your right hand, left arm's going to stretch up to the ceiling. Big stretch. Extend. Breathe and extend. Beautiful. Bring the hands back. Let's work to the left. So left hand coming down. Right arm stretch, stretch, stretch. And extend. And coming back together. We'll see if you can bind. So obviously if it's too hard, you just do what you can do. Otherwise, try and bind. So right hand forward, left arm up. If you can take the right hand behind you and you can grab on with your left and sit up tall, that's great. Otherwise, you just do exactly what we just did. Hold and sit up straight. Work into it. You want to feel some shin splints working on here. Hold and breathe. And slowly back to the center, hands to pray. Let's take the left hand, right arm up, otherwise you stay here. Or if you can, your hands come back and you're holding on. Okay, let's release. Hands to pray, lift up. We're coming to a wide goddess squat. So nice wide goddess squat. Come down here, stretch out. Okay, I want you to place your hands towards the floor and I want you to bring your feet parallel and straighten them up as much as possible. We'll work our hands down as much and work your head down. So just have a good stretch into it. Lengthen, drop your head, drop through the spine. Just have a good extension through everything. Now slowly walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Flatten your back. Feet are still parallel to one another. We'll walk over to the right side. So walk all the way to the right side. Straight legs. So just walk over to that right side. Stretch. Slowly walk back to the center. And let's walk over to the left side. Big stretch. Slowly walk back to the center. Walking back to the right side. See if you can get around that foot. Hold on with the right hand, the left arm. Hold on with the left hand, the right arm is going to go up to the ceiling. Big stretch. Try and straighten, keep both legs straight. Twist. And slowly come back down. Walk over to the left side. Lovely. Hold with the right hand, left arm will go up. And slowly coming back down. Walk back to the front. Stretch it out. Nice. Lengthen through the back. We're going to slowly work over to the side. I want you to stretch over to the side. See if you can keep that foot flat. You'll see how you can do. If you want to flex that foot, that's fine. So coming right over to the side. If you can get here with no hands and hold your hands, that's fantastic. If you need your hands down, that's fine. So you just see how you do. So either your hands are together, your hands are on the floor. If you need to put your foot down, that's absolutely fine. Do what you can do. Now slowly we're going to work over to the other side. If you need to walk over, or if you can use the hands and walk over to the other side, walk over to the other side. You can put that foot up if you've got good balance. Let's go back to the left. And this time, let's take that right arm and stretch up to the ceiling. Big stretch there. Big stretch. Need your hand down, use what you have to do. Do what you need to do. Listen to your body. Hands back together, walk over. Use your hands if you need to. Let's take over that left arm. Big stretch. Let's go back over to the left side. We're trying to do a bind. So working over to the left. You take over your right arm. If you can bring your left hand behind with the knee in front of you, you can hold there. That's great. I'm trying to sit up. So it's pretty much what we did that first time. Work into it. If you want to flex your foot, you're welcome to. Slowly release. Let's go back to the right side. Last one. You're going to take your arm up, your right arm behind, left hand behind. See if you can bind. If you want to lift the foot, you're welcome to. Do what you can. And then slowly release. You're going to come back to the center into goddess pose. Let's place our right elbow down. Let's have a good stretch over. Let's place our left elbow down, big stretch. And come back. This is where you need the blocks. So you've got the blocks here, so we can try and work into your middle splits. What I want you to do is keep your buttocks out, so you're actually lifting your bum up. So you're doing a rotation to kind of do an anterior tilt. You bring your legs out, and you just try and work out as much as you can. What you can do is you can even go onto your heels, and you start to push your legs out. See how you do to go down, as far as you can go down towards the floor, to go into a full splits. I'm just working onto the blocks. You can place something underneath there if you want to. Just work into it and hold it there for a bit. So these things just take time. I've noticed this week I've probably gone down a hell of a lot, and slowly you'll go down more and more. At the end of the year, I'll be flat. Okay, then you can slowly come back up or bend your knees. I'm going to try and work back to work onto the floor. So we can work, there we go. Okay, you straighten out your legs out to the sides. Much easier. So I want you to work with your legs out to the side, Upta Vista Konasana. Open the legs out. Flexing into the heels. Big wide opening. So make sure that you're sitting on your anal mouth. You can even move your flesh forward. So you can really sit forward. Make sure you're sitting nice and straight. Flex those feet. Same as when we're sitting Dandasana. If you want your knees behind the knees, you want them flat, and you're sitting up nice and straight. So what we're going to do is we're going to take both hands and you're going to turn over to the right side. So I want you to turn to the right side, both hands. Lift up tall and twist. I don't really mind how far you go forward. The biggest thing I'm worried about is keeping that left hip down. So focus on your left hip down, flexing both feet, and then working yourself forward where you can go to. I don't really care about how far you go, but I want you to focus on how much you keep that hip down and both feet up. So just lifting and extending forward, stretching into it. So just do what you can do. Lengthening, inhaling up, exhaling forward, but keeping that hip down. That's your main priority, is that hip down. And understanding where your hips need to be so that you don't lift up. See, if I lift up, I can go all the way beautifully down, but I have to focus on that hip down. So now how do I do it? I'm going to twist a little bit more. Just work into it. Slowly up you come. Let's walk ourselves to the front. Bring the hands on either side of the left foot. Lift up tall, flex the foot. Focus on the right hip being down. And then slowly starting to work yourself forward here. Stretching forward, lengthening into it. And extending. The hip must stay down. Beautiful. Sure, fantastic. And up you come. Now for the harder point. So you see there's two ways to get into your splits. You can either come down from the top where we worked into it. We're now forward, going to your forward bend. So you're going to your full forward bend, work with what you can. Now the other way you go into your splits is you can actually roll forward into it. Not that I can do it, but you should roll forward into it. I'm still exactly the same height, but away from it in this distance. So from this way down from the top, I'm swayed down from the front, working forward into it this way. Same difference. So exactly working this way. The nice thing about going from rolling forward, because your buttocks is at the back, you don't get hooked with your ball and socket. You can actually slide a little bit easier into that ball and socket. So it's an easier way to push yourself forward. But that's if you've got a good forward bend. Not that it helps at all, but it's quite an idea, nice thing to think about. All right. And then slowly coming up, you're gonna help your knees. Open your knees up. All right, I want everybody to find a wall space and preferably have 2 blocks. You're welcome to use a chair. So a chair is a great thing to use. I'm going to show you with both. There's 2 blocks and I'm going to grab a chair as well. A low chair. Or you can find something. So here's a very low chair. We're working to Tabittasana, which is your firefly. Okay, so there's the 2 blocks. You need to open your legs up as wide as possible. I'm going to place my hands down. I'm going to try and get my elbows to push into my knees. I'm going to use just my psoas muscle. So I'm not using core and I'm not using chest or my arms. I'm trying to just use the psoas muscle to lift the legs out to the side. So the psoas muscle is right here. If you stand, you can actually feel. So if you take yourself 3 fingers down from your hip bone, down, and you place a 3rd finger, you'll feel there when you move around, that is your psoas muscle. So if you sit there, it's trying to find that muscle, which you actually, so if you start just one leg, and you start to be able to stretch, trying to work into it. So it's a great way to sit and do it. Tabittasana, if you do it without anything, you tend to use your elbows to lean to sit on. So I'm literally sitting onto the elbows. I'm leaning it. And then my legs are going to stretch up with the psoas muscles out to the side. Let me get a better view without everything else blocking me. Okay. So as I stretch out, I stretch the legs right up to the side. But it's really that bone inside, that muscle, right, that tendon that's extending. So if you're using blocks, it's a great way to use blocks to sit onto. You can even place something else underneath your hands if you can't get right down there. And all you're doing is you're really stretching the legs. Okay, so it's just stretching the legs from your psoas. Just have a go for that. Feel what it feels like. So I don't want you using core. I don't want you using arms. I want you just using that muscle to lift that leg up. Nothing else but that muscle. All right. So we're done with that. We are running out of time. We actually finished our time, sorry to say. So from there, we're going to just all come, we're going to lie down on our backs. Come to your back, onto the floor. Place your hands down onto the floor on either side. Hips, feet close to your buttocks, hip distance apart. And then slowly start to lift through the hips. Lift up as tall as you can. Clasp your hands behind your back. Work onto your shoulders. Chest comes to chin. Lift up. Have a good stretch. Release the palms out to the side. Come off your shoulders. Roll yourself down one vertebra at a time, pushing your hips towards your heels. Once you're all the way down, take your feet to the edges of the mat. Knees are still bent. Arms out to the side or underneath your head. Let's drop your knees over to the right side. Right foot onto the left knee. Turn your head to the left side. Place back down your right foot. Bring the knees up. Drop into the left side. Left foot to right knee. Turn your head over to the right side. And release down your left foot. Release your hands. Give your knees a nice hug. Let's work into our happy baby. Have a little stretch, whatever direction you want to stretch. And get ready for relaxing. So if you want to put something warm on, please do. And just get ready to surrender. Slowly start to wiggle your toes. Rub your thumbs over your fingertips. Turn your head from side to side. Take your arms and stretch them over your head. Have a good yawn. Have a good stretch. And slowly bring your knees to your chest. Roll over to your right hand side with your head cradled in your arm. Yoga does not ask you to be more than you are, but it does ask you to be all that you are. When you are ready, slowly come to a seated position. May there be peace to the north, peace to the south, peace to the east, peace to the west, peace above, peace below, peace within and peace without. Most importantly, peace with you and your family. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste.